The WF-1000XM3s upon release received much praise, and criticisms of the device were mainly to do with typically overlooked aspects of the true wireless earphones experience. Form factor, lack of wireless charging, and no water or dust resistance ratings, just to name a few. However, Sony is a major player in the market for these buds, and having been crowned one of the greatest by many renowned tech tubers and consumers alike, it only makes sense that they went ahead to try and perfect these earphones with the latest WF-1000X Mark IVs. Now in this review, I will discuss several key differences between the 2019 and 2021 models, and whether you should get one or the other, or neither, and wait for the Mark Vs. Since these are both wireless earbuds, we can't not talk about convenience of use. As you can obviously tell here, the successor has a case that comes in this much smaller footprint, whereas the case of the older M3s come in a rather outdated design, in terms of both design language and the sheer bulky size. Although they both sport USB Type-C ports, the older of the two does not support wireless charging. The M4s do. This probably won't be a deal breaker for many of you, but in a day and age where more and more phones support reverse wireless charging, and homes and offices have cheap-pads stationed very accessibly, this probably wasn't the right call on Sony's behalf, even if you consider the 2019 release for the M3s in question. Something else that might bother you about the M3s is that the case can't stand on its own, meaning it has to lay flat. Not really important by any means, but for people who constantly put the earphones in and out while in the office, the fact that the M4s are always propped up facing you may be more appealing. One pleasant surprise with the M3s, however, is that the earbuds themselves are somewhat easier to put back in the case than the M4s. I'm guessing this has to do with the way the M4s have a more complex curvature to the body, but I have to inform you all that I personally find it relatively easier to snap the M3s back into place. I'll get straight to the point. Sound quality wise, they sound almost identical to my non-audiophile ears. If anything, the M4s are a little clearer with factory settings. They both sound amazing with sufficient bass, clear mids, and clear highs. If they aren't to your liking, it's nothing a little adjustment on the EQ's end of things can't fix. Whichever one you go for, you are getting your money's worth in the sound quality department, considering these aren't high-end in-ear monitors, but rather premium true wireless earphones. One thing to note if you really care about how your music sounds is that the better noise cancellation performance on the M4s, made possible with a newer processor, will allow for a more immersive experience, although the M3's noise cancellation was nothing short of amazing itself. Moreover, the support for the LDAC codec on the M4s seemed to be timely, considering many Sony headphones already boast this codec. If you don't know what connecting your buds via LDAC does, it essentially allows for high-resolution streaming over Bluetooth. Of course, the sounds produced and transmitted over Bluetooth is always going to be inferior to their wired counterparts, all other things held equal, but LDAC supposedly helps to mitigate the shortcomings of Bluetooth audio. But what does matter is that to most average consumer ears out there, these both sound great. As an increasing number of calls are being taken on wireless earbuds, assessing call quality is more relevant than ever. To be straight up with you all, the M4s have superior call quality. Here is a sample recording. To best simulate how most people will be taking calls on these, we have connected them to an Android smartphone. This is a mic test of the Sony WF-1000XM3s with minor background noise. Although one may be a better choice than the other, it is evident that they both need some work to compete against other buds in this price range. This is a mic test of the Sony WF-1000XM4s with minor background noise. Although one may be a better choice than the other, it is evident that they both need some work to compete against other buds in this price range. The M4 has another trick up the sleeve that lets you connect to people not on the other end of the call, but rather around you. Speak to Chat is readily available, a feature that isn't found on the previous gen's M3. Next stop, is durability. Of course, the M3s have been subject to much more prolonged use, although I will need to spend more time with the M4s to determine if the case holds up any better against scratches and general damage. But from what I can tell so far, the matte material in the newer case seems to be less prone to scratches. Moreover, the M4s have an IP rating of IPX4, indicating minor resistance against liquids like sweat or clear water, but not against dust and other small particles. If you plan on going to the gym with your new buds plugged in your ears, you may as well go for the M4s. One thing that we have to go over is the fact that the M3s released in 2019 and the M4s 2021. Hence, if Sony were to keep up the cycle, this would mean a 2023 release for the M5s. In such a case, my 2 cents is that it would be worth the wait, unless you don't already own earbuds to go by till then. The market being highly competitive as it is, will hopefully push Sony to introduce better call quality, maybe even a refreshed design, though it's not like the M4's design is not serviceable. If we take a look at the Sennheisers end of things, they improved on their Momentum TWS series with a 3rd gen buds in most aspects that actually matter, but cut down on the price. Not that Sony will likely do the same, but there is bound to be some improvements, though the situation with the headphones, the over-ears, aren't ideal, as they seem to have cut a lot of corners with the new generation. But that is a video for another time. Thank you for watching, I'll catch you all in the next one.